Shalom. This is the week of Pesach, Passover, and I love Passover. This is just one of my favorite holidays. And this year, as we are filming this right now, I actually do not know how many people will be at my table because of the war that we're currently in. But as they say, Mishiba Baruchaba, whoever comes, they are blessed and they are welcome. So I have a question as we go into Pesach. You know, we always talk about what happened that night and the blood of the lamb that was put over the doorpost. But my question is, what would happen if somebody of the children of Israel did not put the blood of the lamb over the doorpost? That's what I want to talk about today. Now, the actual portion is Exodus 33:12 through 34:26 and Numbers 28 verses 19 through 25. The Haftarah portion is the dry bones. It's Ezekiel 37, 1 through 14. And the New Covenant portion is Matthew 26, 17 through 30. But I want to really, because the portion here we read recently going through the parashot, but I want to go to this about the actual Passover today. So looking at Exodus 12, starting in verse 21. Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said to them, "Go and take for yourselves lambs according to your families, and slay the Passover lamb. You shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood which is in the basin, and apply some of the blood that is in the basin to the lintel and the two doorposts, and none of you shall go outside the door of his house until morning. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood on the lintel and on the two doorposts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not allow the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you. And you shall observe this event as an ordinance for you and your children forever. When you enter the land which the Lord will give you, as he has promised you shall observe this rite. And when your children say to you, 'What does this rite mean to you?' you shall say, 'It is a Passover sacrifice to the Lord, who passed over the houses of the sons of Israel in Egypt when he smote the Egyptian, but spared our homes.' And the people bowed low and worshipped. Then the sons of Israel went and did so, just as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did." So we see that the children of Israel actually did what Moses told them to do. He told them to sacrifice this Passover lamb and put the blood over the doorpost, and that when the angel of death saw that, he would pass over the house. But my initial question was, what would happen if one of the children of Israel did not put that blood over the doorpost? Now, if you ever saw the 10 Commandments, which I tend to watch that every Passover, that now in parts of the 10 Commandments are not biblical, parts of it are fiction. And the part that I want to talk about right now, truly you won't find it in the Bible, but it is very interesting. There's a part in there where you see Joshua, who in the movie, his love interest was Lilia. And Lilia ended up marrying Dathan, who was the Hebrew overseer. Now, Dathan was a godless man, a heathen, and he was not going to put the blood over the lamb over his doorpost. But because of Joshua's great love for Lilia, he went that night and he painted the blood of the lamb over the doorpost of Dathan. And we see in the morning that both Dathan and Lilia were alive because the blood had been put on the doorpost. So the question is, if Joshua had not put that blood there, what would have happened to the firstborn in that house? Now, there's another very interesting thing that happens in the story. We see Moses and his family having their Passover supper, and there's a knock at the door, and it's Moses, his adopted mother, Bithia. Well, we don't know her name. In the movie, her name is Bithia, and there is a reference sort of to this in the Word of God. There are clues toward who she was. But Bithia in the movie knocks on the door, And she says, can me and my servants come in? Now, Bithia was Egyptian, and her servants were not Jewish. And he opens the door and he says, anybody who wants to come into freedom is welcome to come into our house. And so, because they were in the house of Moses, which had the blood of the Passover lamb over the doorpost, they were saved. Now, what is so interesting is when we look in Exodus, still in chapter 12, but we go to verse 37, it says, now the sons of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Sukkot, about 600,000 men on foot, aside from children. A mixed multitude also went up with them, along with flocks and herds, a very large number of livestock. From this verse, we know there were others who were not from the house of Israel who went out with Israel. They joined themselves to the God of Israel, and in that way, they were saved. So, in the end, what was it that saved people from the angel of death? Was it being Jewish, or was it being obedient to the word of God to put that blood over the door? Was it prayer that saved them? That's not what God asked from them. He asked to see the blood of the Passover lamb over the door. And so ultimately, it was obedience to the word of God that led to them being saved. Now, this all pointed to what would happen so many years later when the perfect Passover lamb, the Messiah, Yeshua, came and he gave his life for us, so that whoever, even if you are of the mixed multitude, whoever believed in him and in his redeeming blood would not perish, but have everlasting life. I want to wish you Chag Pesach Sameach v'Mevorach. Have a happy and blessed Passover. Shalom.